What's going on, guys? Today's episode, we are going to be talking about 2020 and how stocks and I guess more specifically, the craze of Robinhood, of how everybody hopped on that trend and how we got, I don't want to say suckered because it's not, it's just our experience with how that went and the lessons we learned with investing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say suckered because
No.
me personally, I've wanted to always get into stocks, except it maybe wouldn't have been around that time.
I should say suckered into specific stocks
Right.
from snake oil salesmen who
man.
told us what to buy.
Our favorite guys, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, lessons, a lot of lessons during that time for sure. I think I'm glad we started because that kind of gave me that push to start investing into stocks earlier. I don't know when I would have done it, but that time is like when I was like, okay, let's do it because everybody was making so much money. I'm like, okay, we got to do it too.
Right.
We're looking for that shortcut ourselves.
Well, Robinhood did what, they're known for today, which is create the super user-friendly app to get, the younger generation involved in stock trading and making it more accessible there, whereas all the traditional institutions that had apps, very old interfaces, not user-friendly, didn't make, guys our age want to stick.
That's why I don't think I got into it for so long because I didn't really know that there is a quick way or an easy way, a convenient way to start buying stocks.
Good-looking way.
And a good looking way too, right? Because like from everything I've learned, and since this was so new to me, I would just think, okay, like you have to do it the traditional way, maybe hire a broker or something, tell them what to buy or like do all these sorts of things. And then here you find out that, oh, wow, there's an app that you could literally, and when we're not promoting Robinhood and whatsoever, right? And this is just our personal experiences. And then there's an app that you could just literally do this with the click of a button. So that I think was a big factor why we started on top or combined with the other factor, which was because everybody else was like getting into it. Wall Street Bets on Reddit was becoming huge.
Which is funny. We got started about 6 months before the whole GameStop short, AMC short, all that. And what a time.
What a time.
And how many, off the top of your head, do you remember how many just random penny stocks did you get into where we thought it was like, we went into it kind of thinking long term.
Yeah.
And then I remember how you got started, right? I had the app first. I put in like $50 and I followed a couple trades on Reddit for, shits and giggles because I didn't know shit from shit for that. And I was like, it's $50. I don't really care if I lose it. And within a week, it turned into $800. And you're like, okay,
I'm in.
You're in. I sent you the referral code. You downloaded it. But going back, how many of these companies that were, I guess more specifically the penny stocks that were the quick flip ideas, do you remember getting into?
Quite a bit of them. And I think I've made money on all of them, almost. But then who didn't, right? It was that time where everything was going up, so it was kind of hard to fail. But at the beginning, I mean, I don't know how you were doing it. Were you just reading and investing what people were saying, or were you actually doing your like due diligence on the stocks?
In the beginning, hell no.
It was just whatever they were posting?
Yeah, I mean, because it's all luck. There was no other way about it. I got lucky. And in the first couple months, I wasn't on it nonstop like I did become later. But in the beginning, it was, here and there where I would go on Reddit and read these things. And people would, I guess, already post their due diligence. And I would read over that. And I'd be like, if it makes sense, then I'm like, all right, I'll throw the money in.
Okay. I mean, I remember my first stock was an oil play. and I put $1,000 in, and I actually did my due diligence on that one. I was like, well, oil, that's low right now. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna lose money on that, and that doubled. So, and I think later tripled, but I already sold. So I think it went from like 1,000 to 2,000, and that I guess I got my feet wet a little bit, where it was like, okay, this is it. This is fair. Like we're growing companies. I think I'm pretty good at knowing what it takes to grow companies. So I'm like, okay, this should be easy, right? And then I think the next one, I'm like, okay, well, the next play I'm going to put in more. So now it's like 5K. Okay, you win again. Then it's like, I think 10K, right? And then we lose a little bit, because I remember we were, what was that stock that it was literally like they did a reverse split or something like that, and it tanked.
Which didn't. There was
Tanked,
a bunch.
You were in it with me, and it was like I had like 15K in it. It went literally to like 3K, and then the following day, luck again, of course, it bounced right back up. You remember that one?
Again, there were so many.
Yeah, but that was the next one, and then I think I did like a couple more until I was like, okay, I think I got this figured out, and then boom, invested 200K into a penny stock.
Penny stock, which was what
BOXL. You know where that is today?
What did you buy it at?
Well, I kept averaging down because I was like, I still think today that is a good company to put your money in, right?
Not financial advice. You just
not financial advice. So that's my
think.
personal opinion. I still think it's a good stock to be in, unless it's completely fake. I don't know. Like there could be, who knows what could be going on, right? And this is what people don't tell you. I feel like they're just like, okay, this is good. This is great. I've always told you, I think this is good unless something crazy is going on behind the scenes that we can't see, right? So it's always a risk. But today, I don't know. What are we at? I think I put in, I think 200K around, and today we are at negative total return minus $166,000. So, I mean, that was just like the beginning of it. I still thought at that moment, like, that's a good play. And I still think it will go back to those numbers.
Just how long?
Just how long, right? But that's what I told myself whenever I got into these plays. It's like, well, you either make money on it or it goes to zero, because once you make the commitment, there is no pulling out. If it's an investment, right? Maybe your trading strategy may be different. If it's like day trading or whatever, that's different. But this is like long-term investing. So it's like, if you put the money in, you just let it sit. So right now we're 166 negative. We'll see where it ends.
I would say that was, though, towards the end of our like daily, like sitting daily on stock things and looking at.
No, keep going.
Stop.
She's just giving me the eye because she's like, my wife is over there. She's like, oh,
I was like,
what are you doing?
The 200K that could have been. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it will be positive, like I said, and I'm holding it till it is, or it goes to zero. I'm gonna get
Greta, what do we think about that? Zero is not good. Oh, he's dead. He's sleeping in the shed.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's good. I like to have skin in the game because otherwise I won't learn anything from it. So having a good amount of money in there is like, I'm really paying attention to what the stock market is doing. And I think I have a lot of it figured out, except it was just bad timing. I didn't understand yet to not only pay attention to what the stocks are doing, but also pay attention what's going on in the real world, right? Just like with business. And that's when everybody was getting the checks and everything was inflated.
Because of
COVID, and things got out of control. So I didn't take that into account back then, but hey, I mean, it's a lesson learned. We'll see how long it takes to come back from that mistake, and we'll maybe make another episode if it ever comes back.
I mean,
or if I'm sleeping in the shed, right?
Oh, well, kind of looks like you're teetering on that point right now, because down 160K, it's
on a penny stock.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You did due diligence. You constantly were looking up stuff, and I did the complete opposite, which my way was the dumb way. Absolutely. And I'll admit that. And I got suckered into snake oil shit, following random people that clearly I've never met. I've never seen their faces. I was joining Discords and following them on Reddit, and just like they had a couple good plays where I would make, a quick return. Cause like if you get 10% overnight, that's huge.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They say 10% in a year is great returns. You know?
Yeah, 10% in a year is phenomenal returns.
So, but I kind of became an adrenaline junkie for that because it was happening so quickly and it was so volatile, where I saw that I turned $50 into $800 in less than a one trading week, Monday through Friday. Like, I was hooked.
Right.
So I started following all these random ass plays, which turned out to be good long-term plays, just not day trading plays, which that's what I got kind of sucked into. It was, how quickly can I flip this and then
make quick money?
But at the same time, I never put in, the $25,000 limit that you need to be so that you are not you are considered more a day trader, right? It's that safety net. You got to be over 25K.
I don't even know if they have that rule anymore. I think they took it away.
That was, back then. So you have, you're allowed to day trade 3 times within.
Yeah, it was 3 days.
Or
3 times.
3 times within a week or something like that.
Something like that.
And then it reset. But I got so caught up into it where I would be out of day trades and it would be locked and I couldn't do anything and my money would be tanking and I couldn't sell it. And there was one.
But that whole thing, like doing all that stuff, that's some adrenaline rush. Huh?
It was amazing.
It was fun.
It was amazing. Fun. I mean, we were in the middle of a lockdown. That was actually not even the middle. That was like the start, So people aren't leaving their houses. We weren't leaving the house anyway because we were, the business was started, but like we had a little bit of extra time because we were in like full code mode where it was like blow the software up bigger and bigger. So we had some extra time where we were doing the stocks, and it was a ride for sure.
Let me tell you, you were the best natural salesman I've ever seen because you believed that these things were going to skyrocket. And once I saw that, I was like, oh man, okay, I'm in. I remember.
And that's why we're preaching now is do your freaking research. Don't believe somebody just because you found a viral video of them or something. Like, how many of these that we were talking about earlier, not to name names, but famous YouTubers or famous influencers that have companies, but they're in the media and you don't know, just because it's negative media doesn't mean it's a bad thing for them, because that's just their company being recirculated. Right. And
they're benefiting.
They're benefiting one way or another. If you didn't know who X person was, well, now you'll know that X person has this business.
Right.
And they say, no publicity is bad publicity.
No, absolutely not.
All publicity is good publicity. Yeah, most of it.
You could argue that, some of it will probably take you out of business, but we're not talking that extreme, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you were so good at it. You were just I don't know if you did the research or you just saw it and you'd tell me what were those numbers you were telling me that we're going to go from $100?
The returns were insanity.
And that's what I'll always tell you. I always tell you this stuff. What were the returns?
But it was crazy because then GameStop happened. And I was like, we talked about it a little bit before and I kind of cooled back on it because you're like, money is going in quick, but you're losing it, right? So let's chill a little bit. And then we saw what GameStop, or we heard about it because we were in Wall Street Bets Reddit group before it started. And then we started hearing the noise about it. And I'm like, GameStop though. I have personal vendetta against GameStop because all the shitty resale numbers they were giving me. You know,
Yeah, they never gave a good price when
Hell
it came
no.
to buying your stuff, right?
No.
It was all, yeah, I remember I would be there all the time when
you
I
could
used to
buy a
game.
game for $50 a week before, and then you come in, they're gonna give you $7.62 for
Yeah,
it,
it's
and then they're
crazy.
gonna drop it for $45. Like, okay. Anyway,
But the crazy part is I was digging into GameStop and I was like $3. Like that
It was
is
cheap
a
as shit.
good time to buy.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any more money, you know? So like, but I think I was talking to my wife like, or maybe it was even you like a couple weeks ago. And I was like, even if it went from $3 to $500 or whatever it went to, I would have sold way before
Yeah.
that, right? It's like,
Right.
if you see it go from like 3 to 9,
you're already out.
yeah, I would be out because that's the logical play. Like, who would have ever thought? Like, this is a once in a lifetime thing. You're
Like-
not gonna hope for this luck 3 to 500, exit. Like, that's almost. It's not going to happen,
Like
right?
Dogecoin.
Right.
Dogecoin went from under a penny to, what was it, 70 something cents,
Yep.
75 cents. And people were still not selling when it tanked afterwards because they're like, it's going to be.
Oh, but who knows? It might go back up.
That's true.
That's why I think the smart thing would be, okay, if you can buy at $3 for with the GameStop example, like buy a good amount, whatever is good for you, exit 90% of it when it reaches like $9 and let the rest ride, right? To whatever.
Or always put in, and it's the same like, because I like to do sports betting.
Yeah.
You always put in, or you always bet what you're comfortable basically being like, taking a lighter to the money and losing, right? There's other ways, like that's, I feel like a general kind of thing people say, like if you're okay with, a $5 bet, like losing a $5 bet, great. If there are going to be people who have way more money who will be able to put in more. But if not, then don't follow those people. Just do what you can with this. And with GameStop, people were, I was reading like going out and like leveraging their cars
Oh, man.
and their houses, and they were already buying after it spiked.
Oh, man.
So they were putting all that money in and it tanked.
Oh, that's crazy. That's making my 166K loss right now, like not even close to that.
Right.
Because that's like if you're putting in stuff that's on the line, like this was kind of like spare money that I was okay to gamble with. If I had to put a house down or something like that, and then I would be, that I'd be
technically,
in the shed already for sure.
technically 200K is a house in a sense, but you didn't already have the house. You didn't have, like, we were still living together in an apartment. So it's not like you already owned a home with a mortgage on it and you took another mortgage out to then dump in there.
But what I'm saying is that still, if I lost that, money at that moment, it wouldn't really change my life. But if you're putting, like your house down and you lose your house, well, that changes your
screwed.
life. Like
Yeah.
you just effed up big time, right? Nobody ever wants to do that, especially if you got like a family and you're putting yourself in that situation. I think like I would never do that, right? That's not a smart thing to do.
No, always do your research and make sure what you're doing with your money is, especially if you're new into it, don't take all your money and dump it into something. Like,
Yeah, like when you were hyping me up with all those coins, I was like, oh man, I gotta get in.
and then we went from stocks into crypto.
Into
'cause
crypto.
That was the next thing.
But I would never put in more than like what you were saying that I
Right.
would be comfortable losing.
that was the one thing we both never did.
Never, right? So when you told me those numbers, I'll be like, okay, I'll put 5K in. 5K if it goes to 0, which it did. All of them, like I think there were 3 plays. All of them went from like 5K to I think maybe $200 was left in those. But I was like, okay, if I lose this, whatever. If it goes to the numbers that you're saying, I'm not even gonna do my research. I'm just gonna hope on your positive energy there. Then it's like, whoa, that's like crazy numbers.
And that's what a lot of these online gurus are doing. They're getting people like I was, because I'm not that way anymore. Like you can't get me to freaking buy anything anymore like that. You know, they're trying to get. I was gullible as shit. I
wasn't falling for it, but I was
telling
falling
everybody that I knew about it, like family,
Like me.
friends, like everybody who would listen, I would tell.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I got so passionate about it that's what sold it, and that's what people like. For at least crypto, were hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, family and friends, I guess, could get you in trouble because without you, I wouldn't even question it if it's coming from you. You know, I'm like, I'm willing to lose it if Mike says so. Let's do it. But from Reddit, I don't know if I'd be like, just like, oh, I'm gonna put in 5K here because this random guy says it. But you were passing on that message to me. I was like, oh,
That's the one thing I never did, though. It's not like I went and someone said, okay, XYZ stock is the buy today, and that's all they put. Nah, it
no,
wasn't.
you did some more. You did a little research, right?
It had to have some substance in the post, and then I would go do like an hour. And then it was not anything like days worth. No.
And then you would tell me something good about this stock, and I'd be like, okay, I'll confirm. Okay, this is true. Boom, money in. I think SafeMoon was one of them. That one was the one.
Which that one recently just got fucked. Like that one is that one's dead.
Oh.
I mean, it's gone down so much since basically after the second week we bought it. It went down a little and then came back up, but then continued to go down and then never really bounced back. And
that's the one you were telling me is going to be the play.
that was one of the top ones that I hyped up the most.
Oh,
yeah.
and I remember trying to get in on that because it's like quick before the next spike.
Which
we were
is-
going through
it-
how many apps to buy?
It was crazy because that day, the 2 days that we were dumping the money in was like Monday, Tuesday, because I was looking in, or Sunday, Monday. By Friday, my $2,000 was at like 15 or 20K. And
So
we
it
didn't
wasn't
sell.
a bad play
No.
if you knew
You
when
just
to get
needed to
out,
get
I
out.
guess. Because all of them did spike up where if we exited at the right time, you would have made a decent amount of money, right?
Right.
Like 2K to 15K or whatever. Mine went up as well. And then the other plays that you gave me also. But hey, if you wait for too long, that ride is over. And then it became negative.
Like Microvision. We bought Microvision at like 50 cents and we tried. That was one that I was trying to day trade, which was stupid because if I held on for just 1 year, the 2K that I put into it would have been over $100,000.
How much?
I think
2K
it
to
was
200?
2K at like 50 cents. Maybe the numbers are off, but it was like 2K to like 100K or something like that in
Yeah,
a year span.
Yeah, I remember because when you found it, I think it was like 10 cents and then it went to like 20 some dollars, if not higher, or something like that, something crazy. Yeah, I mean, what that just, it was all the hype of that time, right? People got their checks, they were spending it and everything was going up. So it's like, if you really want to know if you were a good trader or you know anything about stocks, I mean, it doesn't tell you much when you were at the time where everybody was winning, right?
Everybody. I just remembered the very first play that got me that 50 to 800 was Genius Brands, GNUS or something like that.
Wasn't like Shaq like promoting it or something
Arnold.
like that? Arnold, one of them.
Yeah. I think they were having like their own show or something on it, like a kids show or something. I don't know. It was 4 years now, but that's the one that got it all started. And yeah,
Any lessons learned from those times?
don't listen to snake oil salesmen.
Yeah.
But okay, at least with this, it was in the beginning, it wasn't ones that I was like actively seeking out. It was just people that I would find who were very passionate about it. But then when, like you said, it became a craze where everybody was downloading Robinhood and making all that money and all that noise and stuff, then all these fucking gurus came in with their screenshots showing, oh, look at my account, what I did in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And they started pushing it hard.
They were pushing it very hard.
And then it went into crypto. And then from crypto, it went into NFTs. And now what?
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like,
Only the big ones are like the ones that have substance behind them.
right. And
are
that's why
still
I
there.
still feel comfortable with my play, even being down so much, because I've done so much research on this company that like I still feel very comfortable being down so much money. Maybe I won't make a ton unless I'm in it for like who knows how long, 10 plus years, but I at least think it's going to come back, you know? But if it was like something that I didn't do my research on and I just went blindly because someone else said so, then I would be like, oh man, now I'm definitely never seeing that money again, you know? So it's like, I think there's a huge difference in that way of investing.
With Boxel, I feel like with how education, because it's an educational stock for like hardware and software, right?
Yeah, education and tech.
And tech, more so for school purposes with a home use a little bit as well. If how we came out of the shutdown with COVID went a little bit differently, maybe it would be popped a lot more now,
Yep.
and we wouldn't be down 160K. You'd be up 160K or more.
I would buy in right now if I had more money to spend, but I feel like that's already a risk. So we'll just leave it at that. I mean, I bought more, but you don't want to keep buying too much more.
At what point do we take his phone away, Greta? I think you need to be cut off.
No, that's fine.
It's not bad. It's just you got to pay attention to what's going on. You got to look
have to.
and do your research. And even then, like we say, check again. Because you could go to one article and they'll say great things, for example, about Boxel.
Oh, for sure.
Then you could go to another media outlet and be like, the XYZ person in the company just did this. This stock is going to potentially tank. You don't know what to believe.
Right.
So,
Well, that's why I think I'm so chill about this, because I actually followed like Warren Buffett and his advice. And I think like that's the best way of investing, because he just finds good companies and puts his money in, right? And whatever the wave is, if the media's, spinning it this way or that way, he is not sitting there at home and stressing about the money, because he believes that he purchased a good thing, So I think like just doing research on him early on before I was putting my money, like big money, into anything, that's what I think made it like, stress-free in a way. Because I mean anybody would be stressing if you think you're gonna lose that much money, right?
well, look at the people who were during the GameStop, right? Craze and all that. The media was blowing this up, saying like, look at this Facebook group, and like they're just everyday people that are investing, and they're going against multi-billion-dollar institutions who have been shorting this stock for years and years and years, and they're coming out on top, right? Well, when these institutions start finding out through the media like what's going on, well, what happens? Robinhood freezes anything to do with GameStop so that things can get fixed
Yeah, so
in the favor of the big money. So everybody else can't do much.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And now with how that all ended up, you've got Wall Street guys and all those institutions. They have people who sit on Discord and Reddit groups to find out what might happen with any of these companies that they're either shorting or not, so that they don't get screwed again. Because they know in mass they're not going to win.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, what's your opinion on Robinhood now? Because after all that stuff,
I stopped using it.
you stopped using it?
I stopped using it. The moment they froze everything and they did that shit with GameStop, I was out.
You pulled all your money out of there?
Yeah.
And you're not
I
going to use
haven't
them
been
again?
back since.
Oh, wow.
I don't trust them.
I still use them.
I don't trust them. And who knows? Maybe I'll go back, but now with other apps that are coming out kind of like them, it's like they're the main player, but I rather use Fidelity, or
I mean,
or
maybe-
something else.
See, I don't
Yeah.
know like exactly what happened because I don't know what's true, what's not at the end of the day. And also, like, I didn't really look into what really did happen, how in Robinhood would have been involved. But I mean, I do think their app is definitely the best one. And
It's the most
Fidelity,
user friendly for
because
sure.
we have an account in Fidelity, and
Right.
oh my God,
It's rough. It's just
it's rough. But yeah, I mean, if you want to make sure your money's safe, maybe it is the better play or something.
It's just when they did that, it left such a bad taste in my mouth where I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. That's scummy shit right there.
Maybe they are the snake oil that you keep talking about. Maybe that whole
Well,
company is the snake oil.
I'm
Yeah?
more snake oil on the gurus that try and push stuff, but it's just the way they did it. It was just it was. I mean, I kind of saw it coming. I didn't want to believe it, but like in the back of my mind, I'm like, at what point is somebody who's gonna step in to stop this to help the big corporations
Right.
get bailed out?
Yeah, and it's always, like the little guy never can get a break. And
No.
And me and you know all about that, right? Because we have been the little guy from day one. So it's like, yeah, I understand the whole situation. It's tough. It's tough winning against someone that, doesn't want you to win and wants all the money to themselves. Which, yeah, but see, that's why I don't want to make like an opinion about it, because I truly don't know what the heck was happening behind the scene.
Well, there's that movie on Netflix, Dumb Money, that just came out recently. I watched that.
Yeah, I've watched that too. I
It
saw
was
it.
good, and I mean, it honestly, it got my blood boiling when I was watching it and like basically reliving that shit in my head. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
How was it allowed?
And how did they get a slap on the wrist? Because when you get to that level,
Did they get any fines or anything like that for that? I think they may have.
something happened that towards the end credits of the movie, they put some stuff on the screen. I forgot exactly what was said, but
Wouldn't even matter.
It
Because
wouldn't-
the
it-
amount of users they got through that media,
right.
that literally, wow, that made that company versus the other way around.
And now I wonder how many people forgot that actually happened,
Oh,
or how many
A lot.
people that couldn't sign up for an account before then are now signing up and using it, and it doesn't matter.
for sure.
Right. It was
It was a good thing for them.
free publicity.
Big guy always wins, right?
Always gonna. And especially when you got the government on your side. Like in that, maybe not government, but like that type of money, you're not going to win.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to win like that. So, but yeah, I mean, those were some times, some lessons learned. But it just goes to show you, like, we've had a lot of success already up to that point, but that was like a new experience, and we're not good. We weren't good at that, right? Who knows if I'm good at, stocks at this point. I feel like I've learned a lot, where if I make more investments going forward, they are going to be smarter, they are going to be better. But like, just goes to show you that if you're new at something, it's just mistakes, right? What I like to always say, like, you are not smart at something, or you are not good at something until you go through a bunch of mistakes, learn from them, put it to work, and then actually, have something come out of it, right?
And we also didn't mess with options. We were not.
I still don't know how to do options.
We didn't
I don't
do
think I
any
even care
options.
about that. I don't think I even want to learn about options.
I had a buddy when I worked at Value City who did options, and he still does, and he does great at it. He tried teaching me for weeks on end, and I was like, this is fucking confusing. It was just, I didn't care as much to learn. I know the money is way, like, can be better. It's just the risk is so much higher when you go into options.
With options. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about it, but from just reading and glancing at it, it did seem like it had some high risks where you could go like negative or something, but just I don't know much about it, so I don't even know.
And we were talking earlier about CoffeeZilla and how he is the guy who exposes everybody who's a fraud. And he did one on SafeMoon for crypto. And when I saw it, I was like, he's full of shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And now looking back and watching his videos, I was like, wow, I was the idiot.
I like that guy. He's
a
got
good guy.
Great content.
He knows what he's doing, and he's not scared to call people out on their bullshit.
Yeah, as he sees it. And I think he's pretty spot on with some of them, because like the ones we felt like are the scammers for all these years, he called every single one of them out.
Anybody that I believe is a snake oil salesman is on his page that he has done something on. So
maybe soon they'll be on our page if we really get into it.
Could be.
Maybe we'll ask in the comments if like people want to see that kind of content where we actually
like whose stuff
like
we
who
bought,
we think, yeah, or like who we bought from and who we like know that is or maybe not know, because you can't really confirm this at the end of the day unless you have some hard evidence. But it's kind of clear if you look at their intentions and what they're doing to see if you should be buying stuff from them or not.
Here in my garage.
Oh man,
that was
see, like back in that day, I just wanted to see what kind of content he's got, so I bought the whatever 63 steps or whatever he has, and just to see his funnel, right? Because we were building our own funnel back in that. I just wanted to see the funnel, and it's like I feel like anybody that has that type of funnel, already a red flag. Like, okay, buy my 63 steps, and then all of a sudden you get an upsell, which is like $500. It's like, if you don't join this one right here,
well, it starts with the
you're
free
gonna fail.
ebook. Put in your email address to get the free ebook, and then the next page of the funnel is like, okay, well, now here's a physical book that normally it's $50, but right now it'll be free. Just pay shipping and handling. And the shit that's in the ebook is the same that's in the other book that you're going to pay shipping and handling. And if you put your card information on that, then there's another upsell for some other bullshit. And it just keeps going.
It's
and it never
ending.
ends.
But that's what's crazy, because we were actually like building a funnel like that early on with Booking Koala, right? And we started to get feedback where people would be like, okay, I just bought this, and in order for me to get the complete answer or whatever, I need to buy this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And how quickly did we shut that down, even though that funnel was working and bringing money?
Oh, almost immediately. Because
we're like, we don't want to be known for this. We don't want to leave, that taste in someone's mouth that these are these types of entrepreneurs or
we had a couple people buy through the full steps, and then got an email within probably a day or two, and they were unhappy and called us out, and we just refunded them.
Yeah, but we actually refunded them because we cared, right?
Right.
But like a lot of these people, when you go under their reviews or try to get a refund from them,
you won't even get a freaking answer.
Not a chance. Or they have this 4-day or 5-day refund policy, and then they ignore you for 5 days or whatever to make sure you don't get a refund. It's just complete nonsense, but it is what it is, and that's just how it goes. Just got to be careful with, people like that. I mean, who's their, obviously back in the day, we were their target audience, because I don't want to say we fell for a lot of them, but we did fall for some of them, like on the cheaper end, because we never bought like $40,000 seminars or $120,000 seminars, which maybe some of them are helpful. I don't want to say that, okay, there are people that truly don't help when you buy at that package, because I'm sure there has to be, but there's a lot that literally just want that money and don't care what you're going to get out of there as long as they sucker you into taking that money. Right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, lessons learned for sure from all of those experiences.
If you had a kid right now that was 15,
oh boy,
call it like we're in the future.
I think I know where this is going.
Not you're 30 and you got a 15-year-old kid, but if they kind of came up to you and showed you a guru in whatever industry is going hot right now, what would you tell them? Would you let them live through it?
Like buy the stuff
and go through it? Or would you tell them to...
You know what? I think this is heading in like a really good, like it's going really well with what you're trying to say. I think let's save it for a different episode because we could make like hours on this stuff.
Well, then answer quickly what you would think.
Who is the guy that's right now that's hot?
No, I'm not asking who. I'm just saying, what if your kid came up to you and asked, Dad, there's this course. I have the money personally. He's not asking you for the money. Should I buy it? Would you tell him to go through it? Or would you say avoid it?
I would say I would probably do the research myself to see if it's worth it. Because like I said, yeah, there are some for sure that, yes, they will help you, you know, but it's like you have to really actually dig deep and find if they are truly trying to help you, or is it the money? Because like a lot of people, like, how can you help someone if you're not even looking into, this is a business example, right? I'm coming to you and trying to tell you to help my business. No one knows the answer in 5 seconds. You know, they actually have to spend some time and look into your business and see what you're doing wrong. Some people might not even be able to help you. So if someone's telling you, I'm going to help you no matter what, like, how can they do that? You know what I mean? Like,
but that's the whole premise of these freaking gurus, that they're guaranteeing, damn near guaranteeing that they could help you with whatever they're pushing.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own, I guess, because we know some people that do that, and I think they've helped a lot of people, right? Like just reading their comments, people are genuinely telling them, your content changed my life or whatever. So it's like, there are some, but there are a lot that don't help at all. And I think those we could maybe touch base on in a future video, which ones I personally think they are, or maybe which ones you think they are. But I think, you know, it's some people help and some don't. You just have to look for the person that is actually trying to help you, because like we can charge a lot of money for consulting and stuff like that. Like $10,000, we could definitely get people to pay us $10,000 to help them. But $10,000 right now is not, you know, I don't want to do that for $10,000 because I would rather use that time somewhere else. So it's not worth my time personally. I don't know how you feel about that, but I don't want to do that. So now how much money would someone have to pay me for me to actually find that, you know, find the time and actually want to help them? And if I don't want to help them, then I'm just not helping them in a way, right? So now someone has to spend $100,000 because maybe that's what I think will be fair for me to spend weeks trying to help them, maybe months. And then at that point, if it's a new guy that's getting into business, trying to sucker them into $100,000, is that, I don't know, is that fair? Like, would that be good? If you could get them the results that they're seeking, yes. But if you don't and you just take the 100K, then no. So I guess it's like,
well, that's for sure one thing. And then another is you can't control that
their
person
effort.
And their effort, because they could be all gung-ho about it in the moment, but then a week later something else can catch their eye and they're going to start slipping, and then call it the 10K that they invested to learn from you. Now they're going to bash you because there's
Right.
no return on it, but it's their effort that they're lacking in.
Right. And there you touched on this right now, actually. That's the thing I guess I don't like. It's the gurus or those people that actually try to convince you to buy this, even though you're not sure yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that I see a problem with, because if I truly know I need help with that and I'm willing to spend the money because I'm 100% sold, this is what I'm going to do, that's fine. You know, I think as long as the person could help you get what you're paying for. But if you're like 50-50 and they're just trying to convince you, then I think that's more of a...
fucking gurus that say if you were down to your last $1,000, you should buy my course. They should be tossed off a building. They should be tossed off a skyscraper. They are the dumbest humans. They are scum of the earth. Because if you're down to your last $1,000, you're not worried about, oh my God, this course is going to make me $1 million in the next year. Bull fucking shit. Your $1,000 should go into getting equipment to get you money immediately. Like
Start figuring
insurance
out how to,
for a car to do Uber and Lyft, where you can literally drive 12 hours a day and make you more money. That's what you should do. And then in the meantime, listen to podcasts or other stuff for free on YouTube or wherever else and learn that way. Because the content that's in that course for that your last $1,000 that they're trying to sell you on is for free on the fucking internet anyway.
Right, absolutely.
And it's reused. It's bullshit.
Absolutely. And I've watched a lot of videos where people are trying to expose, like that actually took like, $1,000 courses. And we've took $1,000-some course before. And we know from experience that that was truly trash, right? It was, all we got out of there is motivation. But if you're already trying to start something, you're already motivated, right? You don't need more of that. You need actual like steps to how to do whatever it is you're trying to do. So, and then, in these videos, I've seen like people trying to say like, okay, I paid $40,000, $50,000 for this seminar and I could literally get this stuff for free on YouTube. Like they were say that. So this is not me. I've never taken seminars for that price, but like,
it's just moved up to the next level. It's regurgitated information that's just going to be packaged in a different way for a higher price.
Right. So, I mean, hey, if you're going to charge $50,000, at least get the results you promised, because
if I'm paying somebody $50K, they damn near better live in my house with me for a week or some shit.
Right. And you're not going to, I feel like if you pay that much money, you attending some, weekly coaching session or something like that, for most people, I don't know if that's going to cut it.
And for some random ass person that I've never heard of, who's I probably faked their reviews to get started, because if they just got started in this industry and they've somehow miraculously already got 200 reviews from people that they've sold, and you Google their name and nothing else comes up, they're full of shit.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, how can you, if you haven't started this type of business before, we're using business as an example, how can you all of a sudden become the master at it and start, charging thousands of dollars to show you how to do it? They're probably using you as a guinea pig to actually figure it out on you, right? Like it just makes no sense to me.
Anybody who's a guru in something and they have nothing to back them with a previous business or something, get the hell out of my face.
I would never buy from that person, ever.
Or somebody who is...
Those people should do it for free.
100%. Or like an athlete giving you advice on how to work out. I'm also... That's tricky too, because you're not going to take, triathlon training advice from a sumo wrestler.
Right.
Or you're not going to take swimming lessons from a basketball player.
Right.
You got to
Maybe there will be something that you could take from them, something small, but like it's your job to figure out if it fits.
And that's very blatant. Damn well you're not going to take that kind of advice from somebody. But it goes into more like with this stuff and these stupid ass gurus.
Yeah, I mean...
And I'm not saying all gurus are bad. And there's that term guru and then mentor. I like mentor more because a mentor is somebody who's not going to ask a lot from you. They're just going to teach you because they want to help you.
Yeah, I feel like the people that are really like making it, they don't go out and sell this stuff, Like me, for example, I would much rather do it for free, right? Because like, I'll give you an example. I did early on when we were doing marketing, I did sell someone for $2,000 as a consulting thing, but that's when we were actually trying to help people and stuff like that. And he wanted something very specific. And I literally figured out his problem with one phone call. And that took like, I think 20 minutes or something like that to go into his business, see what he's doing wrong, tell him to fix it, and he got the results. Was that $2K worth it for him? It was only 15 minutes of my time. I think so, because he got what he wanted. But
He saved probably, you don't know, but realistically, he saved hours and hours and hours, and probably even more money that he would have spent into ads or testing or whatever than the 2,000 it was to just get the answer from you.
Right, but that's like me going in and actually looking through it. How many of these people are actually doing that for you? They're just gonna bring you to a seminar or something like that, let's say at those huge numbers, and they don't even want to talk to you. Like,
And they just have their salespeople
try to sell you for more stuff, right?
And then you're dealing with that salesperson instead of the mentor that was on the stage giving the talk.
Right. You need like a consultant of some sort to come in and look into what you actually want to do. And if they have that kind of experience where they've done it before, they'll be able to tell you what to do once they figure it out, whether it's 15 minutes or 2 weeks, or they need to study some to figure it out. But like, you can't just get those answers like that, you know?
Right.
That's my opinion about that.
And like, we are with Booking Koala in the home service industry space, right? I've never owned my own service business. You know, you still do. You can give valuable information on the home cleaning industry, as well as probably other industries that relate. But just because I'm part of this and I see day in and day out all these other businesses and what they're doing, if I was a scumbag, I could go ahead and make a course and sell people and get all this money.
Right.
But I don't, because
Yeah,
I've never done it myself physically in the trenches. I've never from day one started that business and grew it. So what the hell am I going to give personal advice on that aspect for?
But at least I think maybe you have a better chance of actually getting those results because you've seen so much, right?
But I could do it for free.
But you can do it for free.
And I do give advice for free to people who ask. I'm never seeking it like, oh, who wants answers from me? No.
True, but then you're also making money somewhere else. So now let's say this is your only job. Like, I mean, you still wouldn't be doing that, right? Like if you had a chance to actually start doing that, because you can advertise right now that you've done so many growth story interviews with people where they literally tell you what they're doing to grow, to become successful. You could take that, promote it, be like, I see people doing this all the time. I know what I'm doing, right? You have no money. You could make that as your job, but you maybe wouldn't. Why?
Because deep in my psyche, not even deep, just in my brain, I know that it's not right, because I wouldn't want to buy from somebody who personally didn't do it themselves either.
Well, what if do you believe you would actually be able to help them out? Like, or no?
Yeah,
Yes?
I could. But we're going to the other thing of how you said go into each business and give a breakdown. That I don't want to do. That's personally that I don't want to do. But that's how I think I'd be able to help somebody, is to see what they're actually doing. Like you helped that guy for the $2,000, right? You went in and saw what he was doing and you were able to change it. I can do that by seeing what they're doing, but that's just something that I'm not willing to do myself because I don't want to. But I could help. I know I could.
You could help, and you've seen enough. So, I mean, yeah, so I don't know. I guess it's
But you are right, because we do have the software and we get money from that. So that's one reason why I don't do it. But the bigger part of it is that being scammed by so many people, the effort I know it would take and the person I know I am, where I would want to give you all the attention, I can't do that.
Exactly.
I can't
That's what I
do
was
that
going
on like
for.
a huge scale with like if I sell 100 people, there's not
Right.
enough time in the day for me to do
That's
that.
what I was waiting for. That's exactly what I wanted to get out of you. That's the whole point. Like, if I told you for $100, can you spend 3 weeks with me? Would you do it?
No,
No. Why?
not enough money.
Not enough money. For the other person, $100 is fair though, right? Now, let's bump that up to $5,000. Would you do it?
We're getting there.
We're getting there. But now $5,000 is more money
For sure.
for the other person, right? So it's now becomes a hard sale where you have to get those results for the person. And for you, how long is it going to take for that person to get results? Everybody's different, right? So you can get those results for the person, depending on what it is, in 1 week, maybe 1 month, maybe 5 months, maybe 6 months. Is $5,000 in 6 months good now? If you have to spend hours with them each week,
No.
right? So it's like that's how I feel that's how I feel about it, you know? Like sure, we could sell so many people consulting in the home cleaning industry or anything service because we have seen so much of it and a lot of it is very related to home cleaning where we could do that and help people out, but that's so much time on our end if we had to go help one-on-one to make sure everybody like has the best chance of success, right?
Right.
And that's why we don't do it because that's like not enough money. And I feel like what we're doing, we could help people in a different way where if, you know, instead of me going in one-on-one trying to help someone out, we could reach out through the podcast, give this information for free to millions of people, right? Because it's generic stuff that you would buy a course for, where you could literally get this stuff for free through the podcast and then spend that time like trying to build Booking Koala into what we're trying to build, right? Which really helps your business. So it's like, that's kind of how I stand on that topic, you know? So it's not to say that someone else can't help you.
It's just like an athlete, right? When you're in a professional sport, you have your coach and you have your trainers that are going to help you, but that's when it's scheduled and kind of everybody. But the ones that take it to the next level are the ones like the Tom Brady's, the LeBrons, the ones that spend $1 million plus a year on personal chefs for food, for personal trainers to specifically work with them and master their craft in how they want to do it.
Right.
Because with the other stuff, it's just like blanketed, generic, you know, not generic is loose, but you know what I'm saying. Whereas with this, it's like we can help somebody way more by being in it, in the trenches with them and helping them grow it like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, some people want, I don't know, maybe some people don't want generic. Maybe they just want to be, you know, held accountable and have their hand held through the whole process, right? And that, I feel like that's okay too. If you pay someone that's what you're going in for.
But that's going to give you your highest success rate, right? Is if you handheld everybody through the process, because then you could like tell them, no, you're not doing that. You're doing this. Like you have to stay on this. Did you put in your hours today?
Right.
But there's only one of you. And when you're selling to the masses, it's all trainual stuff, like trainings that are on videos. And it's like, you can't force somebody to watch it. You can't force them to implement it. So that's where the people who fall off on that, that's where you can get your bad reviews from.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, but a lot of the reviews may be coming because see, like,
and that's for, I'm more talking the mentors who help in their spaces with this type of methodology of like, you know, a course.
True. But see, like, for those types of people, I feel like I think it's easy to solve that because, okay, someone convinces you to buy something and they're truly trying to help you. The only way to make that okay, I think, is just to have a good refund policy. None of this, within 5 days you get your money back.
Right.
Okay. Like think of you buy a product from Apple at the store. Like, okay, you've used the hell out of their product and you have 30 days more to return it or something like that.
Well, I know Costco's is it's like besides cigarettes and I think a couple certain types of food,
Yeah.
you can return a couch to Costco 10 years later and not even have the receipt.
Okay, they're exactly what I'm trying to say. Like have a refund policy like that here. If someone's telling you there is no refund policy, that's a red flag. If someone's telling you that you can only get your
48
money,
hours.
yeah, 48 hours or 1 week or something like that, that's a red flag. I get it that what they're trying to do is, tell you that, well, we've already taught you, like so much, you're just going to take advantage of that and try to ask for a refund. Well, I mean, like you said, you've got a whole shirt used in Costco or, a couch and you could still return it, right? Mm-hmm. Like here, I feel like it's the same thing. Okay, there are some bad apples that are definitely going to try to, exploit the system or take it to their advantage and be like, okay, I'm going to watch this many lessons and ask for a refund. I'm going to take this information and ask for a refund. Like you just got to, I feel like, eat that because most of the people, they won't do that.
Which we've seen.
Everywhere.
We've seen that. We've tried, when we were doing it before with the videos and stuff, we had somebody immediately go through all the videos and then 12 hours later send us an email saying that they want a refund because it didn't help them. And we looked and they went through all the information.
Right. Gotta get the refund.
You got the information, but you didn't implement anything. Like, you just wanted it for free.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just how it goes in any legit business, I feel like. Any legit business just gives you a refund no matter what. Like, in cleaning industry, you have people that, like, already book a cleaning knowing no matter what, they're coming in for a refund. Right. They just know, like, no matter what you try to do, they just came in for the free cleaning. So what do? I mean, you just give them the refund or not. What do you do? What would you do?
Each scenario is different.
Each scenario is different.
Each scenario is different.
But if you care about your reputation,
then you know that if they're already predetermined to get that refund out of you,
right,
you already know. And whether it's a phone call, voicemail, email, text message, whatever it is, you already know. If I don't get a refund, I'm leaving a 1-star review. Or they already have done it.
Right.
And now they're reaching out.
Right, exactly.
And they're using the 1-star that they already posted as leverage to get the money back so that they know as a business owner, you're going to ask them to remove it.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, that's why I think a refund policy like that should be just standard across everything, because like, you don't care about those customers. You care about the other 99% of the customers. So they feel comfortable buying from you.
Right.
Because you already know that other 1%, they already are who they are. They do this everywhere they go. It is what it is. It's just going to happen. And there's no difference in marketing or selling courses, seminars, webinars, whatever you do. Like, there are people that are going to pay and they're never going to ask for your money because they're truly a good human and they know they got the value that you promised to deliver. So why would they do that? Right?
Right.
The only way you have that policy is because you're trying to do what? Literally protect yourself, or more so hold on to the money with everything that you've got. Because I wouldn't even want to keep the money if I didn't help you. Why would I want to keep the money if I didn't help you?
Well, that's because you're a good person.
Well, sure, you could look at it that way, but that's the truth, right? That's why I never would
Somebody else might think you're an idiot because
Sure.
you put in the work.
Sure.
So why, like, if you put in the work, you should get paid.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's a standard practice in every industry. Everybody gives the refund, but somehow they've put in the work. They've helped the customer through customer service. They've, ate a refund, right? If you give a package back to Amazon, they did the work because they shipped it. They paid for your shipping. Now you've returned it. They've had to they had to eat that cost, but you're getting your money back.
Or getting a lawyer because you're in trouble one way or another with the law or a lawsuit or something like that. Lawyer puts in the work, you still get screwed. Are you going to go after the lawyer and be like, I want my money back because I got screwed?
No. Are you?
I'm not.
Right.
I'm also going to make sure I get a lawyer that knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
But that's another thing. You got to look and do your research, right?
Yeah, you have to do your research. You have to invest in good individuals and don't fall for the traps. And the traps are very, very, I think, in front of your eyes. They're right there. Someone that's some of these people literally tell you if you join these courses and you try to sell others and stuff like that, they tell you, prey on the pain points. Mm-hmm. Prey on the pain points. And they're doing the same thing to you. They're trying to exploit your pain points so that you buy from them. That's kind of crazy.
And what would you say is the biggest pain point that everybody can basically touch on?
Not enough money. Not enough money, right? And you're going to pay $10,000 if someone promises you $100,000. It's the easiest way to make money. There's no doubt that today, if everything went to zero, we could literally just do that and make a lot of money because it's so easy. That's why so many people are doing it. But the longer they're in business, so many of them get exposed. You get to see how many of them are fake. And it's usually the bigger ones that are flashy and in the media and stuff like that. So it's if you're seeing that stuff, you have to be very careful because there's a lot of people that are out there that won't even charge you as much money as these people try to, charge you. And they've accomplished so much more that could actually help you out, but they're not in the media. They're literally not on social. They're nowhere, right? But those are the people that you would truly want help from. Why don't they do it?
Then you have one famous person in an industry who's made it in business, get a buddy who's also in the industry of business, could be a different industry, but they're also a business owner, and they collaborate.
Oh yeah, and promote each other.
And they
behind
promote
the
each
scenes.
other. And behind the scenes, it's just all because of the money.
For sure. So much scams going on. And I'm glad that we were smart enough always to never get caught up in the crazy package deals that people are selling for, tens of thousands of dollars. Because that's I don't know, when people get scammed into that stuff.
But
I would love to hear from people if they've actually gotten help out of it. But if you say that, we're going to get some person that's
who's
one of those
their own
collaborators that you say to come on here and be like, oh yeah, they helped me so much, this is the only thing that you buy, and you never know the truth.
Open your books, open everything, show me.
Yeah, show us. I mean, if you dig that deep, you could probably find the truth pretty quick.
Oh, sure. But I don't know, man. Going back and seeing even going now and Googling some of these gurus that we were looking at back in the day and seeing where they're at now, it's a freaking joke. They're nowhere. Or they're in a new industry scamming other people.
There's
for
a new
shit.
one that's coming up pretty hot right now. Oh man. I don't know. This guy in the media, he is people think that he is the best there is right now. And I'm telling you, when you dig deep, I see so many red flags. I think we'll save that for a different episode, but so many red flags.
It's bad.
It's bad, but it is what it is. And I guess before we end this episode, just touching back on that, last $1,000 that you have, buy a course.
Oh yeah, if you're down to your last $1,000 in the bank.
I actually saw a clip from Grant Cardone with the shark, and a shark guy that's on TV. That's
Damon
huge.
John.
Yeah, we should pull up a clip so that everybody could see.
That's actually what I was referencing.
Okay? Yeah. You're down. A guy's sitting there right now watching this, and I got my last grand, dude, and I got Christmas coming. Should he spend it on this?
Absolutely.
I would tell you the same thing.
Yeah, that's probably what you were referencing. Like, I saw this clip, like they're both right there telling you, if you're down to your last $1,000, should you buy this course that's right behind me? And this guy's like, absolutely.
Dumbest shit you could ever do. The dumbest shit you could ever do.
Dude. And this guy's on TV in front of how many people?
And that's how they get it, is because one has got the name of Shark Tank and he grew FUBU, the
Right.
clothing company, you know, in the 90s or whatever. And
Yeah.
then you got the other guy who's selling his course, who made his money off of real estate and course selling. And it's just, how much of a percentage do you think he's going to get after that video?
Exactly.
Because there's probably an affiliate link to that video.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we
whoever-
don't want to say because we didn't look for sure.
Right.
But if I had to guess, there's some kind of an exchange, right? Maybe it's not even on paper. Who the hell knows?
But for anybody who thinks that that would be a good idea to do,
Like, just use your head.
Use your head.
your common sense. You know, it's like, don't get suckered into this stuff.
if I was down to my last 1,000, it's how do I pay my rent and rent, food, and how do I make legitimate money immediately? Like, get a job as like an independent contractor where you can literally set your hours and max them out and keep making money. That's
Yeah,
what you should focus on.
Yeah, if you're looking to try to make money and you have only $1,000, like, come on, like, you could think of things that actually make sense. Go provide a service to someone, which is literally probably the easiest way to make $100. You know, I mean, look, go to DoorDash, right? If you're looking to actually become your own entrepreneur, like, figure out how to sell something to someone that's actually making their life better. It's not like you need a course for figuring that part out, you know?
Right.
So that's what it is. I think that's
Well,
it for this episode.
Till next time.
Till next time.